Hi, I wanted to show off my most recent kill team, the what are they called? The Vespid Stingwings, the Tau bug insect thingies. So I did something very different from the box art here. I made them blue with claws and stuff in orange, and I don't like the box art. I also don't like doing a lot of details on the weapons for them. I mean, on the box art, the insects are less in focus than the weapons, and I think the insects are the interesting part. And yeah, I really like how they turned out. I think they're very much better than the GW ones. So yeah, I I'm gonna show you what I used for them. I didn't record doing it. That's kind of hard to do. So I'm just gonna show you what I how I did them. So obviously I primed and zenithal them with my airbrush. So I used this cheap Vallejo stuff, but you can do it however you want. I mean, zenithal is a bit harder without an airbrush, but you can do it however you want. Obviously, like priming, you hopefully already know how to do it. I don't have any tips for that. Then I airbrushed Caribbean Ocean on it. Speed paint or conscious paint is really good for airbrushing. It's really hard to get a good consistency on it with the normal brush for larger surfaces. So the airbrush really helps, especially if it's supposed to be a smooth coverage. Like stuff like leather works really well because of the bad coverage, because it gives it a kind of organic effect. But this kind of stuff you do here, not very good for that. So what I did next was I dry washed it with this layer paint from GW, Lawson Blue. I actually didn't like it at the start, but I've grown to love it. It's very good for stuff like dry washing on these or highlights on my Tempesta Science. So I'm a big fan of that. Then I did the guns. I just did them with a generic GW lead belcher, and then I shaded them and dry brushed them with this generic silver paint I have lying around. And those are the simple parts, I think. And the complex parts are the crystal and the claws, the cool bits. So for both of them, I painted them white. I think I used this war paint army painter, but I maybe used the Vallejo paint, the white paint I also have. I've got two different ones, but that's just the underline. For the crystals in here, the neutron crystals, they're a big part of the lore. They are very radioactive and they get powered by the wings and shit. It's kind of cool, but I did them with this Vallejo fluo paint. I think that's an army painter one too, like this. I really like it. It's very bright, as you can see here, or with the claws. It sticks out a lot. And if you want to do either like something like this crystals or like very bright organic insect parts, it works really well. And so I obviously did the other one, the orange one, on the wings. I also went on and shaded the wings with. I think I used a reddish brown, the Reichland flash shade from GW, and then I just went and highlighted them again. So there was some parts so the resources were shaded, but like it wasn't too dark. I really like the results. I also did the eyes. I need to focus in on them. Oh, I also need to go into them here. I did a very light. I don't think you can see it very well on any of these, but look at this one maybe. There are just a tiny bit of black in there. These dead bug eyes that you really want for these. I um, I did them with another GW paint. The core was black, so the dark blue grayish black, so not quite dark black. And I also used another GW one, Mephisto Red, I think, for there's some parts like the sniper rifle, or let me get it out actually. Or this very cool shade strain is what it's called, I think. This robot stealth suit. I really like how it turned out, so I used that for that. The drone also has those kind of parts. It has obviously it's got its drone icing. There you go. I use that, and obviously as I usually do for those kind of things, for lenses, for stuff that's gotta be glowy like that. I put on some varnish for this. In this case, actually in every case, because it's cheap and I got it. I used the Vallejo polyurethane varnish. I think it's literally the same chemical. Like it's functionally the same as GW hard coat. You probably really don't want varnish in the GW bottles. Like this is a way better format for varnish than this one. So yeah, but I haven't tried it either. I guess there's a spray too from GW. But I like airbrushes. I got my airbrush. I really love it. I can't recommend it enough. I didn't have one for a while, and now I can't think about how I did it without it. Actually, I can. It was just pretty painful. I mean, the stuff you couldn't do, and now I can do it, and I very much enjoy it. Recommend it. And maybe actually I can't do a more explained video on it because that would require a far more complex filming setup than me holding my camera at these Warhammer minis in an ice box with magnets glued on it. Obviously, I also did some stuff on the bases, but like that's incredibly basic. I usually don't like. Sometimes they're supposed to contrast them, but I don't like the bases dominating over the model. So I put on some random gray stuff with shades on it and dry brushed it. I put on GW a texture paste, astrogranite, I think. This one right there, on there, and I put metal on the metal part, like the rebar sticking out. I think I also put on some rust effect. This one, Vallejo corrosion special effects. I'm not sure how much I like it. It's fine, I guess. It's fine for really rusted stuff, but not for like smaller effects. You know, like you can put it on thickly, and then it looks very rusted, but you can't do small specks of rust. You know, like only damaged, but not like stuff that you still don't want to get stung by, but that isn't gonna break right away because it's all rusted all the way through. But I only did it very lightly, and I guess I also did the skulls on there. I don't remember what I did. I mean, a lot of people say that like some of the details you don't actually need to paint. I probably should have done it. I shouldn't because they do stick out weirdly. But either way, I did them in some sort of bone color. But yeah, these are my Vespids. I really like how they turned out. I think this is obviously you can copy them. You don't have to, but like you can do other colors too. Like I think this is a really good method that works for them. People say that contrast paints work for them very well, and I agree. And I also say that yeah, you need some highlights. You don't want them to be one color or one very similar color, like the GW paint shop. I think this is one of those minis where the paint shop really isn't doing them any favors because it's a cool mini and I really like how they look. So yeah, I'll see you next time. I've got some more kill teams I finished recently, so maybe I'm going to show them off. They're very nice to show off because you know you've got a limited range of miniatures that are uniform, and if you don't do them like what I usually do, if you do them as a unit rather than to another army, it's very fun to show off and not like a big format too. So yeah, these are my Stingwings. I guess if you have them too, if you did something very different, if you think it's a stupid scheme, comment and like and subscribe if you want to or not. Your choice really. So yeah, have a nice evening or whenever you're watching this anyway.